The WLtoys 244016, is it half the price and half the car, or half the price and twice the performance? Hello and welcome back to another video. No, don't worry, you don't have deja vu. This is the WLtoys 244016 124 scale micro buggy. So what do you get inside the box? Well, you obviously get your car and your transmitter. Inside the car, you will find your 2S LiPo battery, and then in a small bag, you will get your manual, a screwdriver, a couple of collars for the shock tuning, a nut driver, and your charger lead. Okay, so taking a quick look, it looks very nice. We have got our metal shocks on the corners, and it looks like a plastic chassis. Taking the body off, we can then see our 050 size motor, so very excited to try that out. Then moving on to the back, we can see we have metal drive shafts in the rear. Again, the shock towers are all plastic, however, they do feel relatively stiff, so that is a good thing. Now moving on to the linkages, we have metal ball joints all round, front and rear. It's such a cheap car, there is actually relatively little play in there. Now going back to the shocks, they are all metal as stated, however they are a little on the springy side. Now, up front we have got a 3-wire servo and a servo saver on the servo there just to help protect it. Now moving on to the tyres, we have pins on the rears and grooves on the front. I can't feel any inserts inside of these, so we shall see if that gives us any issues when we are on the track, but it should give us a nice lot of grip. The wheels are held on with some nice little steel nylocks. It uses the standard 8mm hexes, however it does only have brass bushings rather tand bearings. So a couple of things to note about the battery. It is held in there by this top plate. You will need to remove 3 screws with a 1.3mm driver to take it out of the car. It is also the opposite polarity to the Micro B, so don't go plugging this into your Micro B or your Micro B charger, as you will probably release the magic white smoke. Sadly, the transmitter doesn't come with any batteries. You will need to release this little screw on the bottom to open up the battery hatch, and in there we will just pop 4 AAAs. Now, as you will see in the footage, I gave the car a good run around the house myself before taking it to the track and handing the transmitter over to some of our top drivers to see what they made of it. So that is the WLtoys 244016 Vagrant Speedster. One of the issues that I did notice straight away was that we have a lot more turning to the left than we do to the right. Now this was an issue on the losimicro B as well, and we ended up sorting it by replacing the servo horn and adjusting the endpoints on the transmitter. However, with this transmitter, I'm not sure if we have that ability. Now, sadly, the feedback that I got from the other drivers at the club was very similar in that the steering and the throttle made the car rather hard to control. So what do we make of it? Well, it is obviously significantly cheaper than the losimicro B. However, it does come with its pitfalls. Now, while the car is let down by the controls, the rest of the build quality does seem pretty good. I have not had any issues with breakages, and the car does have a significant amount of power. Now, while the WLtoys hasn't quite lived up to expectations on the track, we will dive into it in a little more detail, comparing it to the losimicro B and seeing where the differences really lie. Now, if you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to drop us a comment below with any questions. And likewise, let me know your thoughts on the car. What did you make of it? Now, if you want to see more on the WLtoys 244016 in future videos, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos coming soon.